extraordinary meeting of the council is with to the electoral services co-option for Droitwich Spa Council. Apologies first for the meeting.
Yes, Chairman. Councillor Morris and Hopkins.
Okay, thank you. Any declarations of interests, please?
Hello, I think the candidates are known to all of us, I think.
Yeah, well, I'll introduce them.
Yeah, never, I mean, within the, from the declaration.
Yeah. Right, I'll introduce the candidates for the co-opt. Nicola Morris, Bill Moy and Matt Nicol. Welcome. Mark will now go on to item 3.
So just the background, really, just to recap for everybody. The casual vacancy for Cockpit Ward has arisen due to disqualification of a member for attendance. The notice went out and there was no requests for by-election from the electorate. So very positive for the Town Council. We've got 3 expressions of interest for co-option from the 3 candidates that are here this evening. So very positive, very unusual situation. So it does come down to just consideration this evening by Council for that new member. So the eligibility criteria, just to recap on those. So this is Local Government Act 72 and is to fulfil one of these 4 principles. So electoral status, that the candidates are and continue to be a local government elector for the area of the local authority, so that would be here in Droitwich. Property ownership, they've occupied as an owner or a tenant any land or premises in the area for 12 months preceding the date today. Principal place of work, primary or only place of work during the last 12 months. And the 4th one was residency, they resided in the area for the whole of 12 months prior to the relevant day, in other words, today. So those are the standards. We've got the 3 people that expressed the interest to join. So it will be candidates 1, 2 and 3. So ladies first, so it'll be Councillor Nicola Morris. And we'd ask up to 2 minutes. Each candidate will speak. The opportunity then is for any members to raise a question or any questions. Move on to the next one, to Bill, and then on to Matt. And then if the candidates are happy with this, we would simply then take to the vote. Okay.
Yeah. Okay, Nicola.
Okay, thank you. Good evening, councillors. Thank you for considering offering me a position in the Town Council. Although I do not live in the Cockcut ward, I have lived in Beaubrook ward, which includes part of Cockcut, for over 30 years, and I'm currently District Councillor for Droitwich East. The main reason why I became involved in local politics in 2022 was because of climate change, coupled with the belief that national party politics can make it difficult to find workable, robust solutions to complex problems. My experience to date is positive. I still believe together, regardless of individual backgrounds and beliefs, we can move forward collaboratively and develop solutions that work and are supported by most of our residents. One of the reasons I would like to be a town councillor at this time is because from my involvement with Droitwich's Bike Bus, it is clear that to be successful, new initiatives need community-wide support through consultation and an agreed shared vision. Being a town councillor would give me an opportunity to start discussing how we could change our approach to traffic in Droitwich, and boy do we need it. Our roads and pavements need to be a safe, shared space for all residents, and we need to tackle issues. It's not about putting one resident's needs above others, it's about moving forward in a collaborative way. I am a member of Whichehavens Town Centre Advisory Panel, so I've seen firsthand how much thought, effort and innovation is required to maintain Droitwich as a vibrant spa town. The move to a unitary authority, I'm assuming that Droitwich Town Council will take on a much bigger role, and a role that I would very much like to become involved with in looking at planning the town's future in what we all know is a difficult climate. Anyway, thank you for listening, and if you have any questions.
Does he want to? Yes.
Councillor
Just
Sutton?
to, I'm going to ask all three the same question, so.
Okay.
If you get chosen now, you're on the council for next May,
Yes.
would you be happy to put yourself forward for election next May
Yes.
and carry on? Well,
Yeah.
going in?
Thank you. Bill?
Good evening, Madam Mayor and Town Councillors. Thank you for your invitation to put myself forward as a co-opted councillor for the Copcut ward. I can confirm that I conform with the rules contained in section 79 of the Local Government Act 1972. For my background in brief, I have been a Droitwich Spa resident since 1972. I formed my own garage business in North Street, Droitwich, which I ran until I retired. I then joined the Salt Group in 2002, which went on to win the battle to reopen our beloved Lido. Following on, I formed and chaired the Brian Bass Campaign Group, SOBS, in 2008, and I'm happy to say that a new Brian Bass has now finally been included in the new revised plans for the Lido redevelopment scheme. In the first instance, I was co-opted onto Town Council and served with Councillor Richard Morris on the Copcut ward. I then stood for election in 2017 and won my seat for Droitwich East, which is where I live and therefore my preferred option at that time. To my complete surprise, I was selected to serve as Town Mayor in 2019, and due to the COVID epidemic, my tenure lasted 3 years. I thoroughly enjoyed my time as Mayor, meeting other councillors from Wychavon and other areas, and being invited to give my support to many organisations in and around Droitwich Spa. I'm currently chairman of the Henry Coventry Almshouses, a position I hold with great pleasure and satisfaction. There is nothing better in life than helping people out who are less fortunate than yourself. In conclusion, I thoroughly enjoyed my work on Town Council and gained a wealth of experience which I would like to bring back to the table and to the residents of Copcut ward. Thank you, Madam Mayor.
Matt? Any questions?
You can ask the same question, Bill.
Oh, same question.
Would you be happy to carry on the fact that if you didn't get elected now, would you carry on with that stuff?
Without an absolute doubt.
That's great.
Good evening, Madam Mayor, Town Councillors, and thank you for giving me the opportunity to speak. I believe everyone should find a way to give back to the community they're part of. Droitwich Spa has given me the opportunity to build a successful business, and I feel a genuine responsibility to give something back in return. In terms of eligibility requirements under Section 79 of the Local Government Act, I meet those through my long-standing connection with Droitwich Spa. I've lived here since '98. Nickel & Co was founded here almost 17 years ago on St Andrew Street. It remains my principal place of work today on Worcester Road, and I've dedicated much of my time supporting projects that benefit our town. My connections to Droitwich Spa isn't simply where I live and work, it's also where I've chosen to invest my time, energy and commitment. Over recent years, I've had the privilege of working alongside Droitwich Spa Town Council, Wychavon District Council and many passionate volunteers. Together we've delivered positive outcomes for the town, whether that's helping secure the banking hub, co-writing the recent town culture bid with Mark Held, or supporting wider regeneration projects. I've always tried to be someone who turns ideas into action. Looking ahead, with local government reorganisation on the horizon, I believe the Town Council will have an increasingly important role to play. There'll be new responsibilities, new opportunities, and a real chance to shape the future for Droitwich Spa. I'd like to use my experience to help the council make the most of those opportunities. If appointed, my commitment is simple. I'll be a strong voice for the residents I represent. I'll uphold the values of the council, work collaboratively with fellow councillors, easy to say, and officers, and always approach decisions with integrity, respect, and common sense. I'm passionate about the future of the town. I want to help build on the momentum we've created, continue the ambition of making Droitwich Spa one of the healthiest towns in the country, and and help ensure the town council is seen as a positive force within our community. My business is in a strong position, supported by an excellent team, which means I have both the time and capacity to make a meaningful contribution. Finally, party politics has never been my motivation. It won't be if I'm appointed. My focus will simply be on doing what's right for Droitwich Spa, working constructively with others and helping deliver positive outcomes with our residents, for our residents. Thank you for your time and considering my application.
Thank you.
And Alex?
Yes. Yes, I'll ask the same question, I think I know the answer.
And you?
Yes, yes.
Matt, I mean, can I call you Matt?
Yeah. Matthew.
What, you're a very popular guy. You probably could have become the, I once asked them in the pub if they knew who our MP was, and they said Matt Nicol. So that's 2 years ago. Why haven't you thought of standing for a council before? Or a council?
I'm 42, probably didn't quite understand it. My role within the place board previously allowed me to have significant impact, I felt. And from working with, if I'm honest, Mark and Alex Stinton as well, kind of seeing how I can probably do positive things within the town as a town councillor instead.
So if you're not selected today, would you stand next time?
I will.
Thanks.
Any further questions? No? Okay. So we'll now take this to the vote. Okay. So votes for Nicola. Okay. Votes for Bill. Okay. And votes for Matt. Thank you. Looks like Bill has got the majority vote. Yes, thank you. And the co-option for Copcutt Ward. Thank you all very much for spending your time to do this. We wish you well for the next few months. Thank you.
Yeah, Madam Mayor, councillors, thank you for your support. I really appreciate it. And I will be back supporting the town as ever. Thank you so much.
Thank you. We'll take our chances of being 5 minutes early. Right, any apologies for absence?
Yes, Chairman, Councillors Morrison Hopkins.
Okay, thank you. Any declarations of interests? No. I'd like to confirm a correct record for minutes for the meeting held on 6th July. Could we have a proposer, please? Councillor Davison and a seconder. Councillor Brody. Okay, right. All in favour? Okay, and planning applications to be considered. The first one on the list is the land opposite Yew Farm at Newland Road, and its basic retention of the advertisement sign and 2 flagpoles.
So there's very little on all of these tonight, Chairman. So no neighbours, sponsors, and then the statutory is Salwalk Parish Council because it's on the border, no objections from them, and the highways, no objection.
Okay, any further comments, Councillor Davidson?
I'd like to propose it in
Okay,
favour.
any further comments?
I'd be happy to see.
Okay, all in favour? Okay. The second on the list is 56 Friar Street. This was also on the last meeting. I think this is just an amendment to the last one.
Yes, Chairman, it's a resubmission by Witchaven of the same case. I think it's because of the listed building consent, which is the associated reference. But we put in a statement of support with no objection on the 6th of July.
Okay, so we happy to continue with the support? Yeah. Proposer, Councillor Davison. Seconder, Councillor Brooks. All in favour? Thank you. Third on the list, 37 Grosvenor Way. This is for detached garage and home office and roof space.
Again, very little on this one, Chairman. No neighbours replies. Statutories is only the WRS one, and no concerns with regard to PCL, which is proximity of contaminated land, former landfill.
Okay. Any further comments? Councillor Davison?
I don't know whether Witchaven write to neighbours by second-class post or not, but if they do, then the post is really bad these days. I mean, if you get a hospital appointment, you're lucky to get the letter before the appointment. So, looking at the plans, it seems to be fairly close to the neighbours. So I would think that there may be some neighbours writing, but they haven't done it yet, you know. So as long as there aren't any objections, then I would be in favour, but with a little proviso that it might be a bit early days yet, in case there are any neighbours that are concerned.
Yeah.
Something like that.
Could note that
Yeah.
the validation date was the 6th of July, and the consultation end is the 27th. So it's been out there a couple of weeks, 3 weeks maybe.
So, not appointed yet. Okay, thank you, Councillor Davidson.
Yeah.
Any further comments on that one? Councillor Brooks?
Thank you. When I was looking at the plans and that, I thought the site would support the extra development reasonably. Cranby. Again, I was quite happy with it.
Okay, so have we proposer for that one? Councillor Davison, the seconder. Councillor Brooks, all in favour? Thank you. And the last on the list is 21 Alexander Avenue. This is for a double-storey side extension, single-storey rear extension and a single-storey front porch.
Exactly the same as the last one. No neighbours, just the PCL from WRS, no concerns on that. And it's validated on the 8th of July, end on the 30th.
Okay. Any comments?
Thank you, Chairman. When I looked at that, this one, there seemed to be plenty of room for the development. Well, again, it wasn't being kind of shoehorned in. So that looked quite reasonable. And also, I thought the choice of materials as in the plans would blend very well with the existing building. In fact, it looks like it'd be one of those after a year you wouldn't know it's been extended. I'd be very happy to support it.
And have we got a seconder for that one? Councillor Clements? All in favour? Okay, thank you. Amended planning applications non-received. Item 5, approval notices, 3 approval notices since the last meeting. All of these 3 did accord with the recommendations of the Town Council. And we've had no refusal notices since the last meeting. So items 6 and 7 I'll do on block, although they haven't started yet. Is there any comments on those? The road regs? No?
Just the first one, Chair, number 6, that's the vehicle activated signs for speed enforcement. So whilst those roadworks are prevailing on the A38 on the two-way, that they will have that camera activation in place. So that's 40 days starting from the 10th of August.
Okay. Right. You're all okay with that? Yeah. Item 8, this is the road works at Tagwell Road up to Tagwell Grange, Falcon Close, to enable sewer and storm damage. This kicked off today, albeit if anybody asks, the road closed ahead notices start at the top of the Holloway and carry on all the way up, so people are a bit confused. But I think this seems to be a regular pattern. But the roads are open up to Primsland at least, from Primsland to. Okay. Any further comments on that one, Councillor Brooks?
Just a general comment that there's been a number of these road closures that have been involved in recently. And I do seem to see that the signage does seem to be very confusing. You know, there was one on the Hanbury Road, we sort of said road ahead closed, and it was about 5 miles ahead.
Yeah. Yeah.
So there's no indication that yes, you could get to whatever people are frontages along that way. So I don't know whether at some point we might just ask the county to review their policy.
No, I agree with that. There was one that actually mentioned a street that was actually in Bromley Road that was actually placed in Droitwich, which was absolutely ridiculous.
And I think I mentioned the other day, at a meeting that there was one where they'd actually put the diversion in, but if you tried to follow the diversion and didn't know the road, you just get lost. Because they've got one of the sign back from.
Okay. Yeah. Item 9 is for temporary footpath closures on the Westlands. Item 10 is permitted parking area and special parking area, waiting restrictions and street parking places. This is for by the schools. Item 11 is a temporary road closure for Tagwell Road, anticipated 5 days commencing 27th of July. And item 12 is temporary road closure for Ledwich Road, starting in August. You can let your residents know, Councillor Davison, at the meeting. Yeah. Okay. Any further comments on road closures, etc.? No? I'll close the meeting on that
Good evening. I think we'll start this one then, please. Could we have one meeting, please? Could we have one meeting? Thank you. Welcome then to this meeting of the Resources and Sustainability Committee. Apologies for absence, please.
Just Councillor Morris.
Thank you. Do we have any declarations of interest for this one? Councillor Della.
Chairman, my item number 5, my office is in the CSO.
Okay, thank you. Okay, nothing else there then. Item 3, to confirm as a correct record the minutes of the meeting held on the 8th of June. Could I have a proposal, please? Thank you. And the seconder? Mr Davidson, thank you. All in favour? Thank you. Item 4 is just to note the correspondence received, and you've had a copy of it with the agenda.
Yeah, this is for one of the annual grants from Resources Committee, 4,000 to South Worcestershire Systems Advice. They're really pleased with this, and the acknowledgement this year is because they've got a new CEO.
Oh.
So she's made a real commitment to thank us for that, and explain a little bit of how they use the money.
That's all sort of good, and I like that last bit. Yes. I think it's very important that we do get that sort of feedback, and it's nice to get it. Item 5 then, community enrichment funding, and again, it's as printed. To confirm arrangements have now been made in partnership with CVS to move this forward. Any questions on that one? Or comments?
This was Councillor Della's proposal from, I think it was December, January, and we included it as part of the annual grants for the CMA, but as a separate fund within the greater fund. So it's £3,000 available, and it's for enrichment, hardship, families encountering those challenges. We struggled a little bit because of the means testing. As a council, we've not really got that platform to be able to take that forward. But working strongly with CVS as a partner, they have a similar fund. So we've managed to do a dual branded one, which the applications are there. They're in the Heritage Centre, they're at CVS. And what CVS are helping us do is they've got a network of contacts through schools and other agencies of people that they have in mind that will benefit from this. So they're actively doing it at the moment. We started it just before the school holidays, so we might not be able to fulfil it entirely for the school holidays, but it will have value. So really, it's to disperse that £3,000 as fairly and appropriately as we can to the community, to disadvantaged people.
Okay, everybody comfortable with that? Okay then. Thank you, Mark. Item 6, to note for interest and scope the attached summary of funding opportunities launched through Whithaven District Council on the 14th of July.
This one's hard for the press because it was only launched on the 14th last week. It's a threefold funding pot, £500,000 across the district. So proportionally, it's quite a large spread because it's all towns and parishes. Well, there is some potential there. The town councils are only eligible for the community building energy resilience part and the natural networks. So the natural networks is very similar to what we did at Spring Meadow for biodiversity. And looking at the community energy resilience one for buildings, that's very similar to the PEEP that we did in 2018-19. So I need to look at that as to what potential we've got. So there will be some small potential, I think, on energy saving that we could look at.
Right.
So there are 2 or 3 deadline dates for this: August, February and July next year. So February and July next year, August this year. So it's likely to be the February one for us to put applications in. It's a 3-phase rollout, I think.
Well, thank you, Mark. I know you've got plenty on your plate, but I'm sure you'll have a look.
We'll definitely look at the 2 that we can. Yeah.
That we can gain. Any questions? No, thank you. We'll move on then to item 7, which is accounts for payment, and you've had the list. And,
there's a list in also because the next meeting is the 7th of September. We've cleared all final invoices for the next few weeks, so there's just a few more to run through. ADT, that's for the security and key holding, 103.02. Repair of benches, so this is the ones in the shopping centre to refit those, and a boiler service, that's 11.30. Royal British Legion, that's for the wreaths already. I think sent that out to everybody the other day. Start ordering wreaths for remembrance, £30.50. That's the mayoral one. Some bands in the park, 300. Asbestos survey for the second floor. This is for the proposal for the extra space upstairs, 13.56. That was done last week. Some electrical upgrades, £1,224, and then plumbing, £125.
Thank you for that summary, Mark. Thank you. Okay, if everybody's happy with that, could I have a proposal, please? Councillor Sinton, and a second, Councillor Brady. All in favour? Perfect. Yes, thank you all very much. I'll close the meeting.
That's